In this module, you'll turn a PKI design into a working enterprise certification authority. We'll install the ADCS role in an Azure lab domain, configure an enterprise CA, run initial validation, and end with a CA ready for certificate templates and enrollment. You've already built the foundation. You understand PKI, trust chains, and certificate lifecycles. You also stood up the Azure Lab and Active Directory and made key design decisions. Now we'll install ADCS and bring your first enterprise CA online so the design becomes usable in the domain. Installing the enterprise CA is where the design comes to life. From this point, the domain has a trusted authority to issue and manage certificates. Because it integrates with Active Directory, users and computers can enroll automatically using templates instead of manual requests. This single CA now supports web and RDP security, user and machine authentication, and lifecycle operations like renewal, revocation, and validation that you'll practice in later labs. Active Directory Certificate Services is really a bundle of role services. The certification authority is the essential part. It issues and manages certificates. Web enrollment is a legacy web front-end kept mainly for backward compatibility. Online responders answer, is this certificate still valid, in real time using OCSP. Related services such as NDES and Enrollment Web Services support special device and remote enrollment scenarios. For most basic labs, only the CA role service is needed. For this lab, keep the scope focused. Install only the Certification Authority role, configured as an enterprise CAA. That gives you a functional PKI for domain-joined machines without extra components. Hold off on web enrollment, online responders, or other ADCS services for now. Each additional service adds complexity and increases the attack surface. We'll first introduce CRL and AIA publishing, and then consider advanced services when there's a clear business requirement. Because an enterprise CA is tightly integrated with Active Directory, treat it like a domain controller level service. The server must be domain joined, and you need an account with enterprise admin equivalent rights. Before installing, confirm DNS resolution, domain controller connectivity and time synchronization, and finalize the server name and IP address. You have two main options for installing ADCS. Server Manager provides a guided wizard, ideal when you're learning, because you see each choice, role services, configuration options, and dependencies as you go. PowerShell uses commands such as install Windows feature and the ADCSDeployment cmdlets. That approach is better when you need repeatable, documented, automated installs across multiple servers or environments. During CA installation, you make two structural choices, enterprise or standalone, and root or subordinate. Enterprise CAs integrate with Active Directory, publish certificate templates, and can auto-enroll users and computers. Standalone CAs remain more isolated and are common for offline, high-security roots. A root CA acts as the trust anchor that signs everything beneath it. In this lab, we'll use an enterprise root CA to keep the hierarchy simple and to demonstrate domain-based automation. Next, you determine how strong and future-proof your CA will be. 3 decisions matter: the cryptographic provider, key length, and hash algorithm. For lab use, a Microsoft software provider is sufficient. Production environments may rely on hardware. Aim for at least 20 48-bit keys and SHA 25.6 or better. Each choice balances security, compatibility, and certificate lifetimes. Your CA's name, distinguished name, and validity period become its identity in every certificate chain it issues. Choose a common name that's descriptive, stable, and aligned with your organization's naming standards, not a project nickname or specific server name. Align the distinguished name with your AD domain so it appears legitimate in audits and tools. Set a validity period that matches the intended lifetime of the hierarchy so you avoid premature CA rebuilds. A certification authority is more than a service. It's also a set of critical data files. The CA database tracks every request, each issued certificate, and all revocations. The logs record every transaction, so you can reconstruct activity and recover cleanly after a failure. In a lab, default locations are usually acceptable. In production, you carefully plan database and log locations, separate them where possible, and integrate them with backup, monitoring, and security controls. Once the ADCS role is installed, the configuration wizard turns it into a functioning certificate authority. You enable the certification authority role service, then select Enterprise CA and Root CA, so this server becomes the top of your lab PKI. You generate a new private key, choose strong crypto such as RSA with SHA-256, and set an appropriate key length. Finally, you define the CA name, validity period, and database paths, review the summary, and commit the configuration. Immediately after installation, use the Certification Authority console as your first health check. Confirm the CA status is online and that you can start, stop, and restart the service without errors. Then review the core containers, issued certificates, pending and failed requests, and revoked certificates. On an Enterprise CA, verify that the certificate templates node is present and accessible. If any of these elements are missing or show errors, pause and troubleshoot before issuing real certificates. After bringing the Enterprise CA online, validate it in 3 passes. First, confirm the CA certificate and the AIA and CDP objects are published in Active Directory. Without them, domain members can't build trust. Next, check the local computer's trusted root and intermediate stores to ensure the CA chain appears correctly and isn't duplicated. Finally, review the ADCS and application logs in Event Viewer for installation, service, or publication errors before moving on to template configuration or enrollment. You've now built and validated an Enterprise Root CA integrated with Active Directory, with deliberate choices for role services, keys, hashes, and lifetimes. Post-install checks confirm it's healthy and manageable. From here, we'll configure the CA in more depth, define templates, enable manual and auto-enrollment, and publish CRLs and AIA locations.